Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Teresi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some bullshit, booze, bullshit, and a little bit of baseball. And remember the drinking rules. If Beeflo says allegedly, or he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym or calls us lazy, you drink. And if I talk music or have an awkward pause as we take this train right off the fucking rails,
here we
you
go.
Drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for $1.08 or more. Throw those tips in there. Let's get drunk tonight.
Let's do this.
Speaking of drinking, though, boys, what are you drinking? Beef Loaf, what are you drinking tonight?
Baby, coming off of a big sweep of the White Sox, I'm feeling extra chatty tonight, so I lined up the white wine. I got a little Chardonnay by Reese. It's one of their off-brands called Alicia is the brand. It's a little cheaper. It's not as expensive. Reese Chardonnays are quite pricey. I have a few in the wine cooler cellar over there, not to brag. But yeah, white wine, smelling and tasting delicious.
Oh, there we go.
I like it.
That's very fancy. I feel like you're a fancy boy tonight.
Baby.
I feel like
I'm
with
myself.
that beautiful cut-off shirt and bouncing around on your little ball there.
Bouncing balls.
Getting right into it.
My Sock Summer, what are you drinking, my friend?
I'm switching it up. Last week, Teresi, when you weren't here, I drank the Wild Turkey 101. Today, I'm just drinking the 1792. Just a small batch to try to finish. I'm not going to finish this. I'm
finish it.
Oh, baby. Tonight. It's been a week, man. I mean, a lot of emotions this week, so I'm a little tired. Oh,
wow.
You're emotional? Are you a little verklempt?
We'll talk about that on the second half of the show here.
Biatch.
How you doing there, Teresi? What are you drinking?
Good. I'm drinking. I didn't prepare to have anything tonight, so I just went to the liquor cabinet. I got my Basil Hayden's Dark Rye.
Ooh,
that's good.
And then I probably won't drink that all night. But then I've got mystery bourbon in my Stormtrooper.
Is it a century or whatever they call that?
Whatever those where it's just throw everything in that bottle.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what that is. I don't even know what's in there, to be honest. It's been so long. So we're gonna see if it kills me or if it thrills me. We have no idea right now.
His innards will be fortified. We know that. It gets that.
I mean, if I shit my pants, you'll never know.
I'm gonna know that.
I had a daring day today.
Oh no!
Well, it's not my banter, but Eddie Barstool made me drink some of the campfire milkshake. I've never had it before, but because he wanted to film it for content. I drink it out of the straw, and he's like, "No, Beef, you got to get your whole mouth." And then I'm thinking, what did he do?
You got right in on that.
Well, he asked me to, and I thought a couple things of that. One, did he put a laxative in here? Is there some big trick?
Yeah,
because Eddie
he wouldn't do that.
I love Eddie, but he's a son of a bitch. He would do anything for content. And the other thing I was thinking to myself is I'm going to spill this all over myself. I got to be careful trying to drink out of there because it's not really meant for that. That's why it's got a straw.
Loaf, you've talked about almost shitting yourself after drinking a milkshake in Vegas 1.5 million times. I bet he's listen, he's probably drinking enough beer. If I give him some of this milkshake, he might shit himself. So he's not intentionally doing it, but he knew.
But not unintentionally, yeah. No,
right. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I didn't drink much beer today, though, because they gave me this.
It's hard to do that, especially when you have to go pick your kid up from school.
Let's get a drink here. Senior Sock says, socks are getting hot at the right time.
Oh, man.
You bet your ass,
Cheers.
senor.
Yes,
smoking hot.
And then we got K-Dog.
This motherfucker
says, love socks in the basement. Keep up the good work, guys.
I saw him in Sockswood today, and K-Dog stiff armed me right in the chest, and it hurt. It hurt because I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, this is how Houdini died, except in his belly.
MSS, I saw them too, but they didn't see me. They were in line. And I went up behind them and I grabbed a full cheek on each of them.
Oh.
And man, it was an exhilarating moment. The sweep was nice, but grabbing a butt cheek out of each of them,
my goodness.
beautiful.
What were they in line for? The Modelo?
For beer, they're at the Miller Lite stand right there.
Oh.
I came out of the bathroom.
So you got the handful of butt cheeks and the milkshake today.
Not at the same time.
How much? And for no charge. That's the
There you go.
In fact, you just got $5 for it.
Yeah, that's
It's funny
you're paying that.
It's funny that he mentioned socks in the basement because my buddy from work texted me over the weekend. He was at some fest down on the south side, and he's like, "Hey, there's a stand here for socks in the basement. Do you know those guys?" And I said, "Yeah, Chris Lanuti." I said, "Go up to Chris and tell him that Chirizi says fuck you." And he goes, and he did it. Yeah. And he just texted me back, and he's like, "He said hello to you too."
Where was Lanuti at? Like, where do you have a booth?
I'm not giving all the details. I have no fucking.
Oh,
clue.
okay.
I was
it
hammered at Riot Fest. I was hammered at Riot Fest negotiating text. That was enough for me.
Yeah, reach out to him yourself if you want to hear that. Tim Maher says,
it was
wine?
a simple question. Shut the fuck up.
Tim Maher says, wine, laxative dangers, cupping cheeks. Loaf is living his best life. You're damn right. I had a very nice week. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. So obviously tonight is the last, last one as the season is going.
Yeah,
and we're going to go game by game and break down every single game for you.
Yeah, right.
But before we get to that, I want to know how you guys are doing. My Suck Summer, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. And I teased you guys in the group chat last week. I'm like, I found something so insane at the dollar store. My everything's $1 on Thursday store. That I had to holster it for a week because Treasy wasn't going to be there last week. So I'm like, I got to wait.
I've been waiting.
So I roll in, and as some of you guys know, I sell stuff on eBay. We do a whole show. We do a whole bit. It's called This or That. And we talk about it. One of my biggest pickups, I was at the Everything is $1 store, and I picked up these little microphone connectors that take a bunch of stuff off. I sold a shitload of them. I bought all 37 of them when they were there, and I sold them for like $50 a piece plus shipping. So I did really well. And if you're the government, I actually paid $35 a piece and sold them for $50.
Yes, sir.
But anyhow, I'm there because I'm on Thursday, and I'm like, listen, I if I could find something else, this would be great. And guess what? I was walking around. I start seeing things. And I'm like, I bet you that would sell.
On shrooms?
And no, I was not on shrooms, unlike yesterday and the day before. But I was just like looking around and seeing different things. And the first thing I come across, and I'm like, my nephews, I have two nephews, and they're both, they're like boys and like shooting shit and all this stuff, right? And so I come across a package of 200 darts, for the Nerf darts. And I was like, dude, $1 for 200 of these?
Nothing gets lost like those things.
I feel like,
oh yeah,
this is cheap, right? I was like, this is perfect. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is an easy sell, right? I'm going to be able to sell this for like $15-16 shipped. I'll make a few dollars. It's good, but it's just it'll be like nice things. So like I bought like a bunch of these, but then I'm walking around and I keep seeing like these things, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of toy this is, but it's definitely a toy. And I'm like just going, and I see these packages, and I pick up the package that's sealed. Okay. And you can't really read what it is because it's so small. But I read on the top, and it says Tezao, and then it says sex bondage BDSM bondage clip plus anal plug included. And I go, what the fuck is this? So I go, I have to get this. Everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. And there's some that are open. Okay, so let me show you what's in this kit. And this is the first thing that's in the kit.
Goodbye being on YouTube.
I don't know. Wear it.
It's a lot. MSS plays for Average Joe's dodgeball team now.
Like it's a training thing, right? So then,
then
you look at this and you're like, whoa, this is some pretty sweet jewelry they got going on here. And I'm like, what is going on here, guys? Oh my God, where does this go? Where does this thing go? I don't know. And then you're supposed to put it on your nipples, I think. And then like that, it's not just that, that was the long one, but here's the two other ones. Like here, look at these guys. These are the little short ones. These are the short ones, and there's little clips. You know where the clips go? on the gag. You put the gag thing on their thing and then on your nipples. It's just like, what is going on here? Now, as I'm sitting there looking through this stuff and I see 3 of these things here, boys, I don't know what this is. Okay, I have no idea what this is. But it's covered in plastic.
Is that one of those wine corks? Would that go into my wine, I think? I think it's a wine cork.
It corks something. It corks something.
It's in tissue paper, and it's got kind of like a jewel on it.
I think it's a chess piece. My sex get to get a whole board of them and see.
I think it is.
Put it on eBay.
So anyway, I am like, okay, we trying to make content. We're going into
hold on. We gotta fix this drink.
I know.
We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. But this drink. Aloha, Mr. Yen says 5 minutes of MS with the ball gag.
I don't know if we can get away with that. Will we get shut down with that? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah,
Probably.
Don't do it. We
I
will.
won't do it.
I'll give Pete his money back. We had to show it.
So anyway, we're going into like, this is, I got to take a drink.
Yes,
I'm going to the off season. We need some content ideas. And I'm like, okay. So I bought 10 of these and I think I bought like 10 or something of the other toys. We're going to see which 10 sells quicker and which 10 sells first. So we'll see. Adult toys on eBay or regular toys on eBay. You decide what's going to be sell quicker. We can gamble on this.
That's
we can
all.
bet it.
That's all sellable on eBay, is what you're saying.
It's actually on eBay. It's on Amazon.
Oh my God!
Let me ask this.
The next this or that is going to be.
We
don't know the pricing. That's the thing.
I know.
We don't know
what
what
that's
worth. But also, I was curious. Does that stuff like that really sell on eBay? Like, I think if you're into that stuff, you probably have your preferred provider. You're not looking for the lowest cost possible. You don't know the usage before you got that. Like, you want that out of the box.
Beef.
I don't know if I want it like that.
Times are tough, man. Inflation. Let
me say this.
Shrinkflation. Like, imagine you can't be buying some little. What we got there?
That's right.
So I feel like, look, like say you're going on a business trip or you're going out of town or maybe you're a single man and you're just going to Vegas and you're like, I want to get with this girl and I want to use, this chess piece on her, but you don't want to use your good one at home that you use on your girlfriend and your wife or whatever. You're like, I need a disposable. Where do I go? I'm going to MSS's junk store on eBay and I'm going to get a nice chess piece that I can show this lady, or like, hey, like these people are just dirty, dude. Like, listen, you sell this for $25, right? And you throw this away when you're done. You don't even got to worry about it. You're like, throwing this away. I don't need to take
You don't think it have sentimental value after the act? I mean, what the heck?
Like, it's all crusted up with like, spit and God knows what else, lube. You don't need to take that home. You just throw that away right in Vegas. You don't got to worry about it.
MSS, you sound like you're on QVC right now. It's just
I know. Lori from Shark Tank's about to hire you absolutely instantly. CD44 says, throw in some free 108 stickers to whoever buys the butt plugs. John Carney says, how much for a pair of pliers and a blowtorch? And then Jackie G. says, perverts have budgets too. I guess so. I guess that's probably true. That's probably true. That's a good point.
I'm going to try to get this on my head, not on camera. Pete, potentially I will record a video trying to sell our infamous new shirt, the history shirt, which, Loaf, you know what? It worked so well last week. Let's do it in this week. If you order right now during the show, we will give one of these shirts away. So right now, you have a 1 in 1 chance. There's nobody has ordered this shirt yet since we started the show. Please order a shirt. Go to 108.ing/merch, and you can get your own history shirt. We are going to update the back of the shirt, and we'll discuss something later that maybe I'm going to add on the back because maybe some people will like that. So. But that's how I'm doing. We're gonna have a toy off, and we're gonna see what sells more: chess pieces,
chess pieces, chess pieces.
Chess pieces.
MSS earlier in the comments. I don't want this to get missed. White Sox Sal says MSS justice for Benetti.
Yeah,
I think he wants to. He wants
that.
He wants a little of that. Yeah, he wants the justice.
I liked it because that's immediately what I thought. Like I was like out for justice. I'm like Steven Seagal. I go, that was a badass movie. And then I wrote in there, he's a broadcaster. He left on his own, but he's back to show them who's boss. I just it was hilarious last night with Sylvie, who I don't know why he's even commenting on this stuff, but like he's like, oh man, that would be poetic. That'd be justice. That'd be justice. And then I saw a bunch of that shit today, and I'm like, I just had to refrain from going to that. I was just so happy that the Sox swept the Angels. I was just like, I'm not even gonna get involved in this mud pit and be accused of being the bad guy that is just always sticking up for Brooks Boyer, So
Beef,
all right.
How you doing tonight?
You know what, boys? I've come to the realization that being 108ers, we get lied to so much bullshit thrown in our direction that I usually just fucking deflect it and I don't really even bat an eye. But sometimes when a really close friend of ours throws some bullshit out there so fucking unbelievable and I just can't, it gets stuck in my craw and I can't release it. Last week, our dear friend, Polish with Extra Onions, he's been friends with Treasy and I since we were little kids, okay?
I know what this is.
What this is. Okay, he puts in the group, mind you, here's a picture of Polish with Extra Onions. He's a huge dork right here with whatever that is.
Outing him. You just outed him.
That's him. I've unmasked him. Polish with Extra Onions told us in the group chat that he, at his school, wherever he teaches, he 2 years ago, so he'll be 46 this coming year, like I'm 46, we're the same age, we went to grade school together, that he dunked a basketball at the pep rally 2 years ago. Now, that would put him at 44, 43, Treasy, okay? Now, let me just tell you that now, Polish Extra Onions, good athlete. Absolutely good athlete. Really good baseball player.
Way faster than you would think.
Very fast. Good arm.
Looks slow. Not slow.
Good bat-to-ball skills as a hitter, all this stuff. The one thing he never really could do, Treasy, was jump. So we played ball together all these years. We played in these men's leagues and shit. When we were playing in the men's leagues, back when I could actually dunk a basketball, so like that era, 17, 18, 19 years old, Polish Extra Onions couldn't even grab the fucking rim. But now he's saying he's made a Vince Carter-like comeback. And now at 44 fucking years old, he could dunk a basketball. And I saw that, and I didn't say nothing. But I wanted to tell you guys on here, like, who comes up with shit like this? Who thinks this is totally believable, even though when we were young and in our prime, you couldn't come close to and the killer part about it, MSS, this motherfucker, he's got baby hands. He can't even palm the ball.
That's what I was going to say.
That's what I was
going to say. He can't palm a basketball. So this means it was a two-handed dunk.
Couldn't grab the rim when we were 19, but at 44, two-handed jam. No problem. Why? Why bother with that? Fucking ridiculous. I can't. I'm sorry.
Let's get a quick drink here. Trey says, cheers, guys. Hope all is well. Cheers, Trey.
Thanks,
Trey. Bless your heart.
And our guy, Sal, hey, thanks for buying that shirt, but still go fuck yourself, Sal. He's winning right now. He's got a free shirt. If no one else buys his shirt, tonight, Sal won a free shirt. So
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jordan Miller just is going to buy a shirt now just to spite Sal.
Oh, he should.
I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it. Hey, look, we'll get back to more banter.
Yeah, we'll do your banter.
Our guest is going to be here in a second. And MSS, I know you probably want to pay some bills before that.
Oh, we're going to do the pay the bills first?
Yes, sir. Man. Always.
All right. Here, hold on 1 second. I was not ready.
Never ready.
Pumpkin spices everywhere. Creamer, coffee, cookies, cake, cereal, cocoa mix, candles, and that's just the C's. But pumpkin spice shrimp? No way! You don't want to mess with the classics. Lawrence's has been frying up your favorite shrimp for nearly 75 years, avoiding all the trends. You can always count on Lawrence's to deliver the best fried foods in the city of Chicago. So stop by one of our 4 locations today or visit our website at chicagoshrimp.com to place an order for pickup or delivery. Come see why Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp have been serving up the seafood you crave since 1950.
All right, guys, you know what it's time for? It's the Lawrence's Hot Sauce seat. We got our guy, Cody Delmendo from CHGO Cubs podcast. He's here to talk a little bit about a tweet that he may or may not have dropped.
Yeah,
allegedly.
That is an incredible photo, by the way.
How many jars of mayonnaise had you eaten right before that, Cody? Because I remember you were telling us you ate an entire jar of mayonnaise on a dare, and that's all I was thinking during that photo. I was like, "There's 2 jars of mayonnaise inside you right there." At that point.
Well, for anyone not watching, that's like the background is like the Taco Bell Katina. Like my face is just like very much like, yeah, I had a long day. Let's go to Taco Bell before I go home and pass it the fuck out. Like I did not expect to see that on your screen whenever you were to introduce me. So I'm trying to like gather myself now because that's hilarious.
I remember the first time we met you in person was at CHGO.
Yeah.
And you were just so happy that we didn't know you for eating mayo. Like you were like, oh shit, you guys actually know what I was working on before. Not that I just ate a shitload of mayo.
For anyone who doesn't know, the story is like it was like 2021, and the Cubs were playing terrible at the end of April, and the Dodgers were coming to town. And at the time, I was doing the Cubs on Tap podcast under On Tap Sportsnet at the time. And I was on the show with my great friend, Ron Luce. And I said to him, like, as we were previewing that series against the Dodgers coming to town, it was like first week of May. And I said, if the Cubs sweep the Dodgers, I'll eat a jar of mayonnaise. And then it actually happened. And like,
nice.
I couldn't believe that it actually did. And that's why it like turned into this huge thing on like Cubs Twitter and just Twitter in general. Because
you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Unlike the Florida State guy.
Yeah.
Florida State guy.
I wasn't the Florida State guy. Now, I would not have said that I'd eat I wouldn't eat dog shit in a red Solo cup. I would not have said that. So you know that's what that guy gets. You know, I whenever I said I'd eat some mayonnaise, I think it was all based off like a stupid video I'd seen on the internet related to mayonnaise, and I was like, that looks so disgusting, but I could understand. I feel like maybe I could do that, and then yeah, that's how it kind of all came together.
We have the market cornered on competitive weird eating things like in the White Sox Twitter podcast.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely.
We have
true.
Patrick Bertoletti on. You know, he's been on twice, and now you're on here eating a bunch of mayo. I can't wait to get Josh Nelson on, and he just talks about he ate every dessert item offered at the cell like yesterday. You know, like he's like, I gave me $20. I ate everything that they offered.
All right. Now, Cody, you didn't say you'd eat shit out of a red Solo cup, but something you did tweet was that CJ Abrams was at Bally's Casino in the Loop until 8 a.m. this morning. Perhaps paid him on the books today. Perhaps. Now, this is a nice gambling tip that you threw out here.
Yeah.
Did you think that it would, when you're tweeting, when you're typing it out, did you ever think, man, this motherfucker might get sent to the minors because of this?
No, I did not. No, I legitimately was sitting at Murphy's Bleachers, like at a table, like, because we, for CHO Cubs, we do this event every Friday home game. We call it Friday 120 Club. It's like kind of what you guys do with 108, like sitting out in that same section. And we sit in left field bleachers every Friday home game this year. It's been a great event. And anyway, I was sitting there with a group of people who came to the event. And one of the people that happened to be there just happened to see CJ Abrams at the casino. And like, to put it bluntly, he like works there. And
oh man.
He worked overnight.
I was like, he's a delinquent too then. Because he's there at 8 a.m. also.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him, were they on a heater together? So, you know what the hell?
Basically, yeah, he worked overnight. And so he came to the game like without any sleep, basically. I think he might have gone home after the game or after he worked and got some sleep and then met up with us at the bar somewhere. I think it was between 10 and 11 when he showed up. And yeah, he always asks me about like what I'm betting or whatever because he's a degenerate too. And
yes,
yeah, he I don't know how he's the one who brought it up to me. I mean, why would I ask about CJ Abrams? And he's like, yeah, CJ Abrams was at the casino until 8 a.m. Like, it's a great day to fade him. I'm like, what? They play at 120, dude. Like, what was this guy doing? And so, like, I was like, are you serious? And because I didn't believe him at first. He's like, yeah, I swear to you, he was at the casino. I was there all night. He was there. Yeah. So then I sent that tweet, and you guys have followed me for a while. I hope you guys don't take half the shit I say seriously, because none of it's really ever serious, unless it's like a passionate, like I'm pissed off at the Cubs type thing or whatever team I like, but like more often than not, I'm to get through all the pain that I go through related to Chicago sports and whatever else. Like a lot of it is sarcasm and just bullshit. And I sent that tweet just because like he told me that. I was like, fuck it, let's fade him, because like let's just say a birdie told me this, like I did not expect CJ Abrams to be demoted the next day. And then the Nationals didn't help my cause either by like not even like saying what it was, like internal issue. Okay.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. But the thing is like I sent the tweet on Friday, and then all the news broke on about him being demoted the next day. So that's when the tweet started like blowing up. So anyone who read that tweet and was like, this is him trying to break news, like just doesn't understand how this works. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a breaking news tweet. I would not have told you to fade him on the book. There's so many people that were saying that I was trying to like break news. Like, no, dude, someone told me he was there. I'm trying to help you win a bet, dude. That's all I was trying to do.
Trying to get you $50 on FanDuel or DraftKings or whatever your decided places. Now, Cody, was there any more details on Abrams? I'm not curious about if he was drinking or drugging. What games was he playing at the casino? I want to see if we have similar gambling habits. You get any of that? Or was he at the roulette table? Like, what was he doing? Was he playing craps? Like, what was he doing?
I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that, unfortunately. Right. However, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like out there putting everything on red or something like that.
By that time in the morning, you're, you know what? Let's just see what happens here. Like you've worked out all your competitive advantage games, and you're like, fuck this. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
It'd be super depressing if it was just like slots all night. Like he's just sitting by himself in a slot machine. Yeah.
I don't know what time he got there, but to be there till 8 a.m. tells me that he was up. So I was like, a lot of people in my mentions, when I first sent it, were like, oh, now he's going to hit like 2 homers and like go off. Right. He had like a 4 for 5 night the night before. So it's like, of course he's definitely going to have like a great game, because I tweeted that. And then luckily for me, he went 0 for 3. So I keep telling people this, like the most important thing from this entire thing was that I was right. Like he did not play well on Friday. He did not play well. He went 0 for 3 with a walk. All right. If you faded him, you won something.
I was going to bring this up, MSS. The comments are lit up. Alex Root says Bob Nightingale, crediting Cody, made his and Sean's morning on Sunday. John Carney says, ask Cody to tweet something about Gavin Sheets. And then Alex Root says, Bleeful's praying that Cody's guy sees Andrew Vaughn at the casino. Yeah, I do, actually. If that is, make sure you get that out there immediately. I'll retweet that. Tag me in it, too. I'll make sure we get that further out there. Got to get Andrew Vaughn demoted himself.
Well, I kind of had some more fun with just like the form of the tweet, like a few days later. After the Phillies beat the Cubs the other night, they clinched the NL East. So the next morning I tweeted the same thing, except it was like, source, the entire Phillies roster is hungover. Fade them today. Like, so, and then the Cubs actually won the next game. So it was like,
there you go.
Right again. Like,
you clinch your hangover, baby.
I thought you got some unnecessary backlash from one producer in the city who was like, oh man, this is how you burn bridges and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, because he's not that just Shane didn't say anything wrong, but like, you're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, but you didn't cause this guy to get demoted. This is not the first time he's acted out of turn, somewhere. This is probably something that has not been caught yet, or they've seen it, they've had it. This is not the first incident. No one stays out till 8 o'clock in the morning at a casino just one time. Just one time, and then.
Oh, okay. Hang on. MSS. No. I don't like the direction you're going in here. I don't like the direction you're going. When we were 23, all of us think back to when you were 23.
Yeah.
You stayed out really fucking late. Now, this guy's job didn't start, his game starts at 1, so let's say he's got to be at work at noon or something like that. How many times were you out the night before till 4 in the morning when the job started at 8 when you're 23? All right? Everyone's done that multiple times. Does that mean you should get shit canned from your job? I don't know. It seems a little extreme to me. That's just
I think it depends on the job. I think it depends on the job.
Well, maybe if you're a heart surgeon or something, yeah, I guess. But like the rest of us,
and also,
how dare you?
I agree, but also like it sounds like it's clearly not the first time that something like that has happened, and they've just kept it in house as well as they possibly can. So I do think it had a lot to do with there's other things that have happened throughout the season or in the past or whatever. And so in relation to that tweet, and I'm not going to mention that guy's name, he's not worth my breath.
Oh, dang.
In relation to that tweet, I've had to tell people, like, I'm not a journalist. Like, yeah, I work at CHGO. I'm a podcaster. I hate saying that, but you're a
talk show host, Cody.
I'm not a credentialed reporter, man. Like,
right.
I don't know. Like, I thought that tweet was just an excuse for him to tweet out that he texts MLB players all the time. Like, it was.
Hello.
It's to me, it's like, I don't even know how to say it, but it was just uncalled for. Like, I don't know. And the only reason I have a problem with it is because that guy's never talked to me in his life. So I got no beef with him, but well, okay, I do have beef with him for a little
bit. Seems like a little bit, but that's okay.
I do have beef with that guy, but
so does Beef Loaf. That's all.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think a lot of people that like a lot of the discourse and the what do you call it, the backlash that I received was a lot of people like thinking that I was like a journalist, and it's like, no, you're not. I am the Greg Braggs of CHGO Cubs. Like I'm an idiot who has the privilege to be able to talk about his favorite baseball team 4 to 5 days a week for a big platform here in Chicago. And I'm very lucky and I'm very blessed to be able to do what I get to do. But I mean, I have a few relationships with a few Cubs players, and they're not even like great relationships. It's like they know who I am, and that's really about it. Like,
right.
I'd love for that to keep growing. But at the same time, too, like CJ Abrams doesn't even play for the Cubs, so like, why do I care if that was a serious thing? You know what I mean? But
well, if you ever go to CHGO Washington, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you know, they already know
exactly.
There's already pictures of you up in the dugout. They're like, do not go to the casino if this asshole's there.
Yeah,
he knows everybody in the casino industry. Stop gambling.
You know, what'd be great though is if you run into CJ Abrams in a casino. Now that would just be
you gotta get a picture with him
because he'd have no idea. He'd have no idea it's you, so you could just get a picture with him.
I swear to you, next year it's gonna be like a bit, but I'm gonna bet on CJ Abrams all the time next year.
It's good.
It's for sure gonna be a thing. Like opening day, I'm hammering CJ Abrams total bases. Let's go.
I can't wait to see the sign that you bring out that says how it like want to bet or something, you know, when the Nationals are back in town.
Yeah.
Just like a big CJ Abrams sign, but on a with like a Bally's logo up in the top. You know?
Little roulette wheel in the one corner. I like that, Trees.
I could just bring the one we made for the very first Friday day game we went to this year. It was the Dodgers came to town. And the Ohtani stuff was real hot at the time. So me and Braggs brought a sign that just said 1-800-GAMBLER. And I guess it ended up on Reddit. There were a lot of really upset Dodger fans. It is what it is.
They get upset about everything.
That's just
a lot of them.
Now, Cody, inside the building, inside CHGO, what was the response from your colleagues or like from Kevin Kaduk or the group in there? Did they think this was an absolute riot after this happened? Like when things started going on, were they poking fun at you that you were catching some shit on the internet? How did that go inside the building?
They legitimately thought it was the greatest thing ever. Like everyone was like, people were like congratulating me about it. I'm like, dude, like I was just being a degenerate, man. I was just being me. I had actual journalists. Robert Murray DM'd me and was like, great scoop, man, congrats. I'm like, and I've met Robert Murray. I met him at the winter meetings last year.
Nice.
He's a great dude, but I'm like, I'm not a reporter, but like, I thank you. Like, but I had like DMs from actual reporters like congratulating me. I had an MLB agent like tell me to be better, to be a better person or something. So he was upset, and I tried to like find out who he like manages or whatever, and I couldn't. I couldn't find anything. So maybe he just lies in his Twitter bio. I don't know.
Pete Rose.
Maybe he might not even be one. You know, you can put anything in his Twitter bio.
He's Pete Rose's agent. So
yeah. There you go.
He's like, cut that out.
Be better. Where was he? Where Pete should have been better a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, I had a very interesting. Last Saturday was pretty interesting in terms of the messages and the discourse and stuff. But I mean, I'll be telling my kids about this one day. I don't even have kids, but one day when I have kids, they'll be told about it because like it's the craziest story. Like none of it makes sense, and I think it goes to show like where we're at in the state of like sports media and stuff like that. Like I feel like I'm part of like the Wet Butt 23, Katy Perry's booty.
Yes,
like,
yes.
I feel like I'm part of that mantra now. Like
I mean, I think now you just own that you're one of them.
yeah,
You're just like,
which one am I? Am I Wet Butt 23 or am I Katy Perry's booty hole?
that's up to you. That's up to you. Since we're making this shit up, you get to pick.
Fair enough.
And I think, Cody, what happens is if you've had one viral moment and then another viral moment, like you have to forget the first viral moment. So the batting cage thing is like done, or batting stuff. Like no one can make fun of you because of that anymore because you got over the top on something bigger. People are gonna be like, he was the guy that ruined that Nationals player's life. Like he was that guy. Not the guy that can't hit.
Listen, the batting practice thing at Wrigley. I mean, I made that video myself. I purposely put that out there to be made fun. So it's awesome. It's fine. I think a lot of the people that come at me with it are trying to like trigger me or whatever, but like I kind of get a laugh out of it. Now, there are a few people that have gone a little overboard with it, but at the same time, it's kind of like I just assume they hate me, and that's fine. But
yeah, or hate the Cubs too.
Yeah, or hate the Cubs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I have to redeem myself next year if they invite us to come back. That's for sure. Going into that day, I hadn't picked up a bat in like years, man. Like it
showed.
So yeah,
I mean, you could tell.
Yeah.
We got.
I'm authentic, man, with everything.
I got a T-ball team. You ever want to come over? I'll do some live pitch for you. You know, we can see how it goes. I can have my 6-year-old daughter show you how to swing this bat. It's pink. It's fine. It's light, so you can get through that. Don't worry about it.
Well, Cody, thanks for joining us tonight,
Thank you very
man.
much.
I really appreciate it. It's a hilarious tweet and like what an aftermath. But
and now it's added even more to it. I did not expect to go on a White Sox podcast to talk about it.
Hey,
I appreciate you guys.
We wish you continued success over at CHGO and all of our friends over there too. Congratulations on ruining CJ Abrams' life.
Next time I hope to see you guys soon. I haven't seen you guys at the studio in a while. I'll tell Sean and Herb to get you guys in there.
Absolutely. Put in a good word for us. Put in a good word for the group.
Tell them how handsome we are.
It's like what in there. It's like how are you going to talk about the team this offseason? You might as well just have these guys come in, drink beers, and just talk bullshit. You know?
Absolutely.
That's some mayo. You know.
Yeah.
Don't discriminate. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Cody. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Go
on, Cody.
That was funny, man.
Hey, just an update. We've only sold one shirt, and that's to Sal. So Sal's winning the shirt right
Sal's
now.
Gonna get a free one.
So he's got a 100% chance to win right now. So if somebody wants to ruin his night, go buy a shirt.
Sal's very active in the comments.
/MNG merch.
Sal says, Shane, worried about burning bridges, but it's totally okay to make shit up. Well, it's Twitter. It's Twitter.
We got a couple drinks. We got to get to.
My bad.
Came in there. Our guy Jay Zelly says, you guys still bathe together on Sundays? Not right now. Not until next season. But, there's videos of it all over the internet if you're interested.
Yep.
Cheers, Jay Zelly.
Cheers.
Like 6 seasons of it. So
Gordo says, Cheers to a fun season in the 108. Cheers, Gordo. Good to see you.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Gordo.
Had a great night yesterday, thanks to Gordo. So thanks to Gordo.
Hello.
Speaking of Gordo, so I'm at Riot Fest. And Beef, you know this from back in the day. When I would go to a concert, no matter what concert is, no matter what, people would come up to me and ask me for drugs.
Yes.
I don't know why.
100%.
Like rarely ever holding at a concert. Rarely. And so
allegedly.
One of the most famous stories is me and the dude are there. Our buddy the dude, and we're standing at the sound like the front of house, and this person is like zigzags all the way through the crowd right up to me and asked me for drugs. And I was like, I'm now at that age where that's not going to happen to me. Yeah. And things are just different now. Who needs to buy drugs at the concert? But no, it happened. Me and the dude are standing there, and this girl comes up to us who looked like she had to be in her 20s, right? Like she was not young. She asked us for drugs. She's like, hey, you guys holding? And this guy, I'm going to show you a picture. This guy holding up the pre-rolls $10 sign is like 30 feet away.
With the Juggalo shirt.
He's like 30. Yeah, of course.
He's got the hatchet man on.
He's like 30 feet away. And then there was another guy who had a backpack and a cardboard sign that said Shroom Guy. And it had a menu of prices on it. And I'm like, why are you talking to me? Like, first of all, you could have just bought drugs on your way here at like 1,000 places. And now you're here, and rather than the people with signage, you're coming up to some old guy who at this point is probably a narc. I went from being the guy who's probably holding to being probably the narc, right? Like, so I was just shocked, and I thought to myself, this young lady does not need any more drugs.
Alex Root says, you look like you got cheaper prices than those other ones. Potentially. Maybe she was, you know what? You took it as literal, Treasy, but maybe she was just interested in the silver daddy. And that was her in to try to get in there. And she thought, well, if he is holding, then we're going to have a good time tonight. But you weren't. You know. But she was into it, maybe. She was into you, maybe.
I don't think that anyone could have saw me walking around with my bad back at Riot Fest and thought, oh, man, what a good night this guy would give me.
the back
don't hurt. Don't hurt unless I move. Yeah.
It actually,
take some Advil.
After all the walking of Riot Fest, it actually was nice. It's been nice since
feels
then.
Better.
Loosey-goosey, huh?
Worked it out. Now I got to work it back in.
White Sox Cell says, Treasy looks like he's got the quality shit. That could be what it is. You're an older gentleman, but you got the primo thing, not the swag that they're holding on to. I think it's a
combination. I think it's a combination of all three of what you guys are thinking. And it was, I bet that sugar daddy would share this shit for free, and I bet it's really good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And good instincts on that kid, but,
She was almost right. But I don't need no sugar, baby. So it's just I only share my drugs with my friends.
Sugar
Hell yes.
I know the idea there.
No, but I mean it was funny. It was funny, like how many people were just openly selling drugs at this concert. But the best thing I saw was, and you know this is gonna happen at Cypress Hill. This guy pulled out a joint. I mean, and Beef and MSS, you'll get a chance to have the dude corroborate this story. But I mean, it was the size of a vodka bottle. I mean, It was gigantic.
Like up in smoke?
Like it was like literally like this big. Like
what the hell are you gonna do with that? How do you even negotiate that? I'm not a drug guy. I need to know how this works.
They were tilting their head back and smoking it so you could see it over the crowd. Like that's how big this joint was. I was so impressed.
MSS, no shit, you smoke it. My question is this. A cigar is bigger, but it's super tight rolled. Like
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is not like that shit. This
They
is
had
someone
to-
hand packing this bullshit. I assume.
They had to
it's
got
still tight. It's
they
still
had to got
rolled,
some
yeah.
Cubans to roll this motherfucker.
Right, that's what I'm
It looked
saying. Like,
it
what the
looked
fuck?
beautiful. It looked beautiful.
Got some good, got some good workers. Some good guys.
How dare you?
Oh yeah, this
I went-
guy.
beef-
Now I got to go to Riot Fest. You don't need any more there, buddy. All right, you take it easy there.
Hey, maybe
Walking like a goofball the other night when we were
Maybe you can
leaving the
make-
stadium.
Maybe we can make a little money over there.
Good.
Beef, we should talk a little bit for a second here before we get into the next segment. We were on BetQL Daily today.
Yeah.
We were, yes.
Our friends Joel Ostrowski and Sam Panayotovich, they got that show. It's every day, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on BetQL. They had us on because we haven't done it on here, but we've been blogging it.
Yeah.
We've been in the survivor pool, and we got 2 picks. Blew the first one right away.
That was my fault.
But the
I
other
explained
one,
it too on the show. MSS, and we
did.
had a good laugh about it. It was
You
good.
did.
the other one has survived.
Kinda
And
goofy.
It's only been 3 weeks, but there was 206 people in this.
Yep.
The prize pool is $46,000,
Oh my God.
and there are 7 people left. So they brought us on to see who we were picking, and we never quite got there.
No, we didn't
We
finish.
never quite got to who we're picking. And so I think maybe we should talk about it and get there. But I will say that we did put up a poll. So let's check where people are at on the poll.
Uh-oh.
We said who should we pick? And it was the Texans, 49ers, Lions, or GFY. 87 votes only. But 3-way tie. 49ers, Lions, and GFY.
Yes.
Now, we're not going to go fuck ourselves on this. So it's between the 49ers and the Lions. Now, Beef, do you want to go with the Monday night? Wait till the very end. Be the last to pick. And take the Lions. Or do you want to take Matt Ramsey, Josh Nelson, King Noms, 49ers to beat the lowly Patriots on Sunday?
Man.
You know what, Treasy? Like, as much as I brought it up on the show that like the Lions thing is so fun because you're last, you get to see if everyone lost, you get to see what the position everyone's in, and I do trust the Lions against Seattle. Seattle's not a good road team. They lose on the road. At home is where they got their big advantage. But I just feel like the Patriots are also banged up. I just feel like you take the Niners this week, you play 1 week safe, you let someone else step out of bounds and see if we can get down to 5 or something like that by next week and go. That's my thought on it right now. I'm probably leaning 75% Niners, 25% Lions.
MSS, where would you guide us? Now that
So
you are
this
a
is-
big better guy.
Big better guy now. Nam did not seem very confident in his boys yesterday when I was like, dude, I'm not betting against your team. He's like, you should be, because they're not doing good right now. But I guess they started. I was listening to the BetQL today. I missed you guys, but I was listening to it, and I guess they
Kelly in
started
Vegas was on. That's why he was watching.
no,
yeah.
I didn't even watch it. I was,
Yeah,
so
not
when you
watching,
told
but-
me, idiot me, not thinking the times posted are Eastern. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I go 9:20. It's coming up. So I just sitting there and waiting. And then
Did
I'm
you
like,
think we were on with ET? Is that what you thought that was for?
dude, come on.
I was DMing with MSS while this is going on. And what does he think? I'm DMing him while I'm on this fucking thing? Like,
No,
come
I
on now.
thought it wasn't 9:20 yet. I thought you were waiting. And then he said, we recorded that shit at 8:20 this morning. And I was like, oh. And then, but the first thought, oh, they pre-recorded it. And then they're going to play it. And then I'm like, no, they didn't. It's Eastern time, you dumb. That's where Sam is. And so, I think they had said like, well, the 49ers went like 0-3 to start last year too. So they were like, come back, or something, like, I don't know. I was listening. So both those picks sound good, like the Niners and Detroit. But right now, like in my heart of hearts, Detroit. I love Detroit for some reason. I like the style. I like their running back. I would go Detroit.
All right.
Yep.
49ers it is.
And I've been doing good. I got down to I had $130 in the account after I took out 300, the original 300, and I went down to 70. I put $60 out there on Sunday. Man, back to 150. I'm back to 150, dude. I mean,
let's go.
This happened. You know who's my money guy? Fucking Chiefs, dude. Chiefs are great. The fucking Chiefs, man. I don't know why.
They have the refs on their side.
They just love them. Yeah, the refs love them.
My girl Britt Mahomes, she's there too. They got everything going for them, man.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
My toothy girl.
Goofy toothy.
Goofy toothy gums. That's
I was gonna say
like.
gummy or toothy?
Well, a little more gummy. You're right.
Yeah, a little more gummy than toothy.
Yeah, a little toothy too.
Speaking of gummy and toothy, Beef, you got a segment for us that you want to bring back.
Kind of goofy.
Why don't you give us what you want to talk about?
All right, so we did this before. I think people enjoyed it. It's called "Did They Fuck?" Did they ever fuck? Is the segment. I'm gonna take from movies and television, that sort of thing. Could be cartoons. Last time was all cartoons.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put it out to you guys and to the commenters to help me decide. Did they fuck? Because it's not always evident when you watch these shows or whatever in that world if it actually happened. Maybe it didn't happen on screen, but you believe it did happen somewhere in that world, in that genre. So number one, first one to start with, a very popular show called Who's the Boss? No. Tony Maselli, played by the great Tony Danza, and Angela Bauer, played by Judith White. Boys, did they fuck?
Oh man! So which one is this? It's the
mom.
It's the mom, not
Mona.
Not Mona. Yeah, not Mona.
Oh, because he fucked Mona.
Well, there's no question. I mean, everyone would. So it's the mom. It's the blonde hair. It's Judith Light's tall blonde haired woman.
Yeah.
Mona, played by Katherine Hellman, a redhead, a sultry older redhead. Yeah, no, that's So
yeah, both. Yeah, he.
Yeah.
You think the Tony Maselli?
I don't think
strong,
at the same.
Huh?
I don't think at the same time. But
Okay,
I think
fair
both separately. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he definitely fucked. Yeah, they fucked. You don't hire a mimbo fucking Italian housekeeper. Unless he's a
28-year-old Italian guy out of nowhere is come raise my kid.
Yeah, it's like it also like it's like guys out in LA or whatever that are hiring a housekeeper that has like a Brazilian butt lift. You know, you're like, she's not there to clean. Look, Jesus Christ, Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of keeps his hands off the grandma looking person that they had and had a baby with her. I mean, Jesus, come on. She's definitely fucking Tony Danza. I mean, come on.
Well, now you're saying that they raw dogged it.
Definitely.
The comments seem to be in agreement. Tadahito says yes, and Tony had MSS's ball gag on. John Carney says I was a big Judith Light guy back in the day, allegedly. Let's see. Timothy Maher says he was that kind of handyman, and
wasn't even a handyman. He was a housekeeper.
The White Sox they totally fucked. Angela wanted the bad boy.
Dusted.
All right,
Baloney says they fucked in the beat up van he drove around the original Bang Bus.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's playing softball in the intro, right? And because he goes and slides in.
He's basically Slim Mick.
If Slim Mick was your housekeeper. Imagine that.
He's there to fuck. Drink from Jay Zell. He says Chiefs never cover. Look it up.
They covered fucking Sunday.
Thank you, Giselle. Appreciate you.
Actually, they weren't favored, so they had like 3 points on Sunday, so they were fine.
All right, next up, did they ever fuck? And you know what? I mentioned Silver Daddies earlier, and I think this guy might be the original Silver Daddy, but I'm not sure, so I had to reach out to you guys and find out. That is from the popular cartoon show The Smurfs that we watched when we were growing up. Smurfette and Papa Smurf. Did they ever fuck? My Sock Summer.
Man, that's a tough one because I don't like to think of Smurfette like being like pounded by a wrinkly old Papa Smurf. You know, like there's something about that. Like he's got like old Smurfy skin. And like he's probably got old man breath, like you guys know that, like that death breath.
Nah, I think Papa Smurf took care of his shit. I don't think he did,
man.
He's running the whole town.
Yeah, exactly. How can he not? You know,
I mean, listen,
He's the Brad Wesley of Smurfs.
There's a society of
He got
Smurfs.
the J.C. Penney to come to town.
They have to like reproduce, right? And there's only one fucking female. So I mean,
that they show.
She was taking.
Okay, so
from a lot
I
of
don't
people.
know. See, that's the only female they show in the show. I assume there's more out there in the universe of Smurfs. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I think that
Jackie Treehorn brings up a good point. What does MSS imagine her getting pounded by?
Like,
You can't imagine getting pounded by a Smurf.
I was thinking, I'm like, Vanity Smurf was probably like the number one, right? Like the Vanity Smurf and Smurf are probably fucking, but Vanity was
I'm
probably
not sure
gay.
about that.
So him and
I
Brainy,
don't think you quite got that character.
him and Brainy Smurf are like probably doing it, right? So that I understand, but I don't know who the other ones, like Handy Smurf, like he was always building shit. He was probably pounding. Some other things too, other than just the mushroom houses. But yeah, no, I think that like Papa Smurf was probably the creator of like the society, but like Smurfette is probably related to him, so he's probably not
the leader of the cult.
fucking her. Yeah, he started it. Like it's his. He'd been smurfing, and he got all these Smurfs. So like he started the thing, but he's not. It's fucking his offspring, but they are. And maybe that's why they're all blue, because they're all inbred. Who knows? I don't know. So, but yeah,
Beef.
no, I'm saying no, they did not. Fuck.
I will say that they did not fuck, but he definitely smurfed the Smurf out of her and smurfed all over her face.
I didn't realize we were going to get this graphic with it, but I respect it. I respect it. I like your position there. The commenters. Baloney says Papa Smurf invented blue chews. That's could be. I don't know.
Beef, this brings up a point about Riot Fest again.
Yeah,
me and the dude were there, and we're like, they got all these advertisers that throughout the thing. They're
Dude wipes and
small
blue chews.
things and stuff, and they ain't got nothing for old people, and it's like it's all old people here,
Right?
Aren't they putting the headlines?
Shit,
as
blue
also old
chews
people?
should be in there.
Blue shoes. Yep. Hymns.
Yeah, they should have
They don't
that
need
shit.
erections everywhere in the show.
So,
you
hey,
you just
For
chill out.
later.
Ian's- Ian's correct. It was probably Hefty Smurf. Like he's definitely out there pounding Smurfette. So
I mean, Ian says, not gonna lie, Smurfette seemed pretty loose.
I mean, she had to
White
be.
Sox Sal says Papa Smurf and Smurfette didn't fuck, but they did do hand stuff. and Todd Hito says it was Gargamel, not Papa Smurf, but he says yes, that's the case. So there's a lot of it's mixed out there. It's mixed as to who
Gargamel.
thinks what happened. Timothy Maurer asked if there was a Tony Danza Smurf.
Yeah,
that Smurf was fucking.
That's hefty.
Yeah, Hefty Smurf is that guy.
All right, number 3, and this is from a movie, very famous movie, and there's a date, and there's an altercation, and a drug overdose from the movie Pulp Fiction. Do you think that Vincent Vega and Mrs. Mia Wallace fucked? Treasy, I'll start with you.
See, I think they were gonna. I think the overdose,
Put
an end to it because he was nervous in the bathroom about that. That's why he's in the bathroom so long, because he's psyching himself up to not fuck her.
to just leave.
He feels like it's definitely gonna happen. She definitely wants it to happen, and he's got to somehow diplomatically get out of there without being the ire of his boss, who will absolutely skin him alive.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, they didn't, but it was extremely close to happening.
I mean, I agree with you that they didn't, because I there's no way because if he just knew that he was going to get in big time trouble. He would be dead if he did something like that and got caught. And I think Vincent Vega understands that, like even like to that aspect. And that's why he cared so much. If she was just some girl he was going to F, he wouldn't have cared. He'd be like, man, bitch can die. I don't care. But he was like, I got to save this person's life because this guy will kill me if I don't save her. So like, I don't see him like this. She's not some throwaway. So I don't think he would just use her for sex. So yeah, no, they didn't fuck.
Great points, guys. The commenters. Let me get to Baloney first. He said Vincent didn't want to become the next Tony Rakihara. Yeah, I agree with that. Timothy Maher says he didn't want to get thrown out of a 7th floor window. Pretty much on point here. Ian Eskridge says OD on heroin will throw a wrench into plans, probably.
Yes, a little bit.
In White Sox South. Vincent wasn't going to fuck Mia, but he was going to give her a foot massage, Tony Rakihara style. That's right. Beautiful. Number 4, and this is from a very popular movie. In fact, I talked about this movie on the Future Sox podcast with James Fox. It's a personal favorite of his as well. And that movie is Varsity Blues. And so my question for you is, did Johnny Mox, played by the handsome James Van Der Beek, and there's a James Van Der Beek Treasy story we'll get to after this, did he fuck Jules Harbour, played by Amy Smart? My Sox Summer.
Oh God, he shoulda. He really shoulda. Like if he didn't, he's dumb. Like I feel like because they were just friends and like she liked him, you know, but like and it was like yeah, they fucked. Oh yeah, they fucked. Like and he had
Look how quick he turned it around, Tracy.
I was just thinking, well, because
he remembered that he wrote a blog on how she was one of the most attainable stars of that era.
Well,
and he was thinking,
wait a minute,
and Van Der Beek couldn't attain it? Come on,
but I'm just remembering their dynamic in the actual movie because they were talking about the characters, not talking about the two people in real life. But it was like, he thought he was too cool, and they've been friends for forever. Those are the best lays sometimes, especially in high school. So like you know everything about each other. It's not bad, you know, and you can probably still be friends afterwards. But yeah, fucking what was it? Road Trip, where she makes the sex video with that dude, and you see her butt and those undies, and you're like, yeah. Van Der Beek better be hitting that shit because
we know his MSS made hand party to Amy Smart.
That is very apparent. That is very apparent.
I mean,
show us both your hands right now.
Look how hairy they look, Treasy.
I thought he was going to pull his hand up in the ball gags in the hand.
I'm sorry.
What?
It's the chest piece he pulls up. Ain't that kind of show. Treasy, did Mox
all right,
and Jules Harbour fuck?
I don't remember this movie too well. I've only seen this movie like maybe once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
Is he the I don't want your life guy?
Correct.
To his
He's
dad?
the backup quarterback who
He's
gets
the
the job.
QB.
And then Jules is the
brainy chick.
She's the brainy chick. That's right. So
But
she's not
incredibly hot.
She's not the whipped cream bikini. That's Darcy Sears, played by Ali Larder. So
yeah, Ali Larder. Yeah.
It doesn't.
They didn't fuck.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter, Tracy.
The guy with the I don't want your life to his dad, who's like he's the motherfucker's out there going like I don't want to be the most popular motherfucker and greatest football player ever in this school. I'm not into it. That guy doesn't fuck. All right, that's like
nothing. He's got nothing.
His dad's Tim McGraw, country star.
He's like cultivating a garden instead of doing that. So like he's like I'm out on that guy.
Different hoeing is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the only hoe in his life. Yeah.
Let's check the comments real quick. And White Sox Sal says Mox totally fucked her. And then Tadito says yes. And then he went for a good cry in the shower afterwards.
I like Carney's better. I don't want your life, but I want that ass.
But every time I see James Van Der Beek's name, Teresa, I think about the time we went to a Cubs Sox game. We had a bunch of people with us, and one of the guys who was with us, our buddy Clam, he doesn't look like James Van Der Beek,
really.
But there's like a slight resemblance.
He's like a tall, blonde-haired guy.
Yeah, and you went up to this group of girls, and you were talking to them, and you were trying to convince them he was James Van Der Beek's stunt double from Dawson's Creek.
Yes. I had not watched Dawson's Creek. I thought maybe there was a little more action and adventure in it than there was. So it was not quite
fishing.
You know, I'm thinking more Dukes of Hazzard style show. I don't know why people were watching it if it wasn't. So I got in a little bit over my skis on that one, but I think that they found him attractive enough that they let that slide, and we they still talk to him. It worked out.
Absolutely. All right, number 5, and this one, they're characters on this, but they're not really actors per se. And so number 5 is the last one, and do we think Mark Giangreco and Janet Davies from the New Year's Eve parties fuck Teresi first?
I hope. I mean, I know that it's probably bad if they did. I think they were probably both married while they were doing those shows.
Yes.
But but I'm a selfish person, and like I've rooted for them for so long.
You need them.
That I feel like I would like to hear from Mark on Twitter at like 3 a.m. I can't hold it anymore. I fucked Jim Davies in 1997. You know, like I want.
Yeah.
I want that tweet.
Spill his guts out there.
Let us know that. Let us know what we believed all along was true.
Actually happened. That might suck somewhere. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't. Fuck. Like, how much like he just got like killed when he did something that was a little bit sexually related. If they had any off-camera steam going, like he would have been fired a long time before that, and they wouldn't have brought him back. And Janet Davis doesn't think like she would take that, you know, from him. So like, yeah, no, they didn't.
Unless
they got to bring that.
Yeah, I mean,
like I almost want us to do a New Year's Eve show on here,
so have them on,
and then have Jean Greco and Janet Davies on, because just Chicago just needs it.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's missing. It's missing.
Yeah,
and the local shows fucking suck on every network. They're horrible on every network.
And it's not like they're too old to do it. They did it recently. It was only a few years ago, and it was still awesome. So like, I don't know. I feel like, you know what? We've got a YouTube platform. We can bring them back.
Let's go out there. A couple from the comments. White Sox Al says no. She probably friend zoned Gian Greco. Wow, can you imagine that? Gian Greco in the friend zone. Timothy Maher says those two went to Silver's Pool and Suites, and we're told firmly never to come back afterwards. The sex swing. That's they knocked that thing down. I have a bonus one if you guys are interested.
I'm interested, but yes, Sal is correct. Tim McGraw was in Friday Night Lights, not Varsity Blues. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
didn't think that was the case.
The two teen football movies confused that came out exactly
Mox's
the same
dad
time.
was not very handsome at all. Not noticeably not a good looking guy. All right.
Okay.
My bonus
is
one.
in a movie with Tim McGraw. Just so you.
Is she really?
Was she in Friday Night Lights?
No.
That's not a movie though, is it? That's a
Yeah, it was a
TV
movie.
show.
Then
It was a movie first.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. I didn't watch either. All right. My bonus one. And this is from the super popular TV show Cheers. And my question for you guys is, did Cliff Clavin, played by veteran actor John Ratzenberger, ever fuck anyone? Or was he just like the most popular incel on the most popular television show of that era? Treasy.
Oh, wow. I mean, like, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the show perfectly. But does he live with his mom?
He lives with his mom in the show.
He lives with his mom.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
so he got no stabbing cabin, as far as we know, as far as we're aware.
I mean, that time when he was in the Rebel Alliance and Star Wars for a little bit, maybe he was fucking then. But after he became a mailman, I think it didn't happen. I'm gonna say no. He didn't fuck.
My Sock Summer. What do you think?
Can you repeat who these people are again? I didn't catch that.
You've seen Cheers, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the show Cheers.
Cliff
Clavin is the mailman in Cheers.
Yes.
Played by John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, I know that
Do you think
guy.
he ever fucked anyone at all?
Anyone in general?
Anyone in the show at all? Or is he the first incel on a major TV show like that?
Yeah, no, he didn't fuck anybody. The only thing that could potentially have happened is that maybe one time him and Norm were like drunk driving home, and like maybe one of them touched each other on the leg and was like, "Hey, do you need some relief?" And he was like, "Oh, hey." And then Norm was not into it, you know? And then that's where the term postal came from. So, yeah. No,
Tracy, do you like how MSS went from spaced out to what a super great take? Like, he totally spaced it and needed me to repeat the whole thing, and then he nailed the take. Absolutely perfect.
He was just gathering himself.
I was literally looking up if Tim McGraw was in Friday Night Lights.
See, I knew he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't paying attention. He's like, remind me who was in the show. I'm like, you didn't hear one bit of any of this stuff.
I'm sorry.
No, it was great. I loved
this one. I was on for the first 5. The sixth gets really tough.
John Carney says Carla gave it up. I'm not sure about that. Who knows? Ian Eskridge says Cliff Clavin delivers. And Mailman Jack says Cliff was fucking everyone on his route. That's a mailman talking about other mailmen's prowess. I don't know why we could believe that. Jackie Treehorn says he could have paid for it. He could have paid for it. White Sox Sal says Cliff got pegged by Carla. God.
So much pegging.
Crazy, man. This is wild shit. Anyway,
Very horny.
That is the end of our segment. Did they fuck? So thank you for participating. Appreciate you guys.
All right.
Quick drink from our guy Jay Zell. He says that hat's cutting off dude's circulation. You're the only one wearing a hat.
He's talking about you, MSS. Thank you.
So
fucking beautiful.
God damn. You know what it's not cutting off, Teresi?
Paying some bills.
There you go.
I can tell you all the reasons why Mazda of Orland Park is the best place to buy your next car, but why not let an actual customer tell you about their experience? 10 stars. Showroom was immaculate. No hard sell tactics. No hurried sales pitch. Very positive experience. Eric and John were professional, courteous, knowledgeable, and have outstanding customer service skills. Highly recommend this dealership. Want more? Here you go. Excellent customer service from the moment I stepped out of my car and up to the waiting room. Car was serviced and washed in half the time promised. Would highly recommend that Mazda owners consider going to Mazda of Orland Park for their next maintenance check and service. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
All right. It's time for some White Sox talk.
Yes.
All right, fellas. I just wanted to get, before we get into our one topic on the Sox this week, I just want to get a little touch base on this week, and recap the sweep of the Angels to stave off history for another day. Beef, you went to all 3 games. Give us the lowdown.
I did go to all 3 games. I sat through all 3 games. For me, a lot of adrenaline and a lot of fun. The series played like a playoff series if playoff teams were horrible. That's the level of excitement that was going on because the house was packed, or moderately packed. 17,000, 18,000. You think about for last place end of season midweek series. That's a lot of people. And there was a lot of attention because there was a subset of White Sox fans like us that really wanted the Sox to win and did not want them to set this record at home. And then there was another subset, I'll call them the bandwagoners, who just wanted to come and see the terror, just wanted to come and see like the sideshow and, we got to piss on the owner. And we're not big fans of the owner either, but we are big fans of our team. And so every night when they were, when they'd come back and get a victory, when they win an extra innings or whatever, even today, the ass whooping that they put on the Angels 7-0 was a lot of excitement for me. I was absolutely thrilled kind of the whole weekend. We had a ton of visitors. A lot of OGs came through. A lot of them were of the, we might as well be out here. It's the last weekend kind of thing. And sort of less about the 121st loss. Like a lot of the OGs were kind of just like, this is our last chance to see baseball. We might as well come out to the park, blah, blah, blah. So it was a good smattering of people that we ran into that we haven't been running into as much lately because the team's been down. And that brought me a lot of joy personally too. It's like, I haven't seen this person. Let's hug and kiss and all this shit. And so like, it was a very fulfilling series for me for the 3 games personally.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a good time at the games. I did have a better time than a good amount of the season because there was just so many more people. Yeah. It was just so much more lively. And MSS, what were your thoughts on the weekend?
Closing the upper deck, I think, is a fucking good move going forward, especially during weekday games, because it does force people downstairs and it makes it feel a little bit more inviting and stuff. I enjoyed the 3 games, aside from the substances that I was on those 2 days. It was fun. It was a good time, and seeing people in the it's kind of like the last go round, and we had Eddie from Barstool like sitting in front of us last night, and he was asking me a bunch of questions, and he was like, you guys get depressed at the end of the season? And I was like, yeah, I do. It's like it's a end of season thing, like, because you're like, we're not going to see these people for a while, and that's why we have the the 108 day, we have the Sox Fest after parties, we do this kind of stuff because that was our chance to reconnect with these people and get drunk somewhere other than the parking lot or the stadium. So it's nice to have those things going. But the one thing that kept getting brought up, we had a lot of Sox people come by. We had other, like some media folk and whatnot. The thing that kept getting brought up was Tuesday night when the Sox won and the crowd went, yeah, boo. And we were like, what the fuck is happening right now? And I'll say this. I was going and we're selling a shirt based on the fact that the Sox are going to set history, lose 121 games. Okay. I was not under the impression. I'm not going, oh, I can't believe that this is going to happen and I'm embarrassed by it or I'm upset and I want them to win. I don't want them to set the record. I was like, it's inevitable. They're going to set the record. It's going to happen. But like, I'm not going to cheer for it. And I haven't been cheering for a loss, been cheering for wins all year. And then when the crowd erupts and starts booing, I firmly jump into this team better fucking win the rest of this goddamn series because fuck every single one of these people. And like even today, like I left for a little bit, I had to go pick the kids up, and then I came back and we caught the last like inning and a half. And we're outside because the girls are like, I want to see our brick. Let's go see our brick in the area. And all these fuckers are getting let out in the 400, the fancy seats behind home plate and all that stuff. And the people that keep saying they can't even fucking lose right. They can't even lose right. And I want to just turn around and be like, you just sat in like really nice suites and probably ate a shitload of food. And it was probably free. And you're shit talking the team, and the organization, fine. If you want to shit talk the owner, do that. But like these players don't have anything to do with a lot of this. They're out there trying their hardest.
They're trying to win. Yeah, they're just a crappy team. Like,
fuck, man. Like, let them win. Like, they don't want to be on that side of history. Like, that's like the last thing you'd want to do. Like, no one wants to go into their chosen profession. And at such a height of their chosen profession, like only so many people play Major League Baseball. And then they're like, fucking, like, you're like, you were the worst to ever do it. Like, their asshole buddies are going to be like, remember that time you were on the Sox and you lost more games than anyone ever has in history? Like, you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your fucking life. Like, they're already there. Like, you're tied. But, like, set that record. You don't want that. So they're fighting their ass off right now, and I fucking love it. And today, holy shit, today. I was in the car. I'm acting like a total asshole, screaming, like hitting the fucking ceiling, like just going, yeah, fucking keep scoring. I'm like 4-0, 7-0. And it's like, man, shove it right up these fucking bandwaggers, assholes coming in, trying to dance on the grave and figure out the motherfucker ain't dead yet. And he pops out. And he's like, I'm going to kill you, and I loved it. It was great. How about you, Treasy?
What did you think about the booing? What did you think about the booing?
I didn't like it. I'm not a fan of that sort of thing. I get certain subsets of people coming for the spectacle of it, and sometimes that is what sports is. You come just for like some special event or whatever, and I get that. But the booing was ridiculous. Like I wasn't embarrassed as a Sox fan, but I was kind of embarrassed for the people that were booing. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what? This is where you're at. How you just that's all you got. Oh, great. That's wonderful. It was surprising. I was glad not to be a booer. I was glad not to be someone booing for that. After they had a nice win in that game, I was glad to be someone cheering for it. And I made sure to let everyone know on Twitter, I wanted them to keep winning, so people had to keep coming back to these games to try to see the loss, and then they didn't get to see it.
So how was the crowd today? Because I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I was at work, so I'm not seeing how many people were there. I know you guys were up there. Was it regular weekday, nobody there, or was there more than usual?
I mean, it wasn't like it was Tuesday and Wednesday, right? But I would say for a regular day game, and especially the end of the season day game, like in the middle of the fucking week, I thought it was pretty decently attended. I thought that I think there's probably what do you think, Wolf? Like 9,000 people there, 10,000 people?
Yeah, a reasonable amount. A lot of them shifted over to the shade. They didn't want to be in the sun. That was funny. Like the shade was filled right on that side of the first base side.
Yeah.
And then the other side was a lot more sparse. But yeah, I'd say 10,000 of actual people in the stadium. It was a decent amount where, like, when you're in the concourse, you got to maneuver around to get to stuff. I mean, there was that many.
Yeah. No, it was cool. And I think the Sox, I think you got to the end of a season that's been so disappointing. And I think they did a lot of things for fans at the end there to satisfy like us season ticket holders, like that were like just nice gestures, like giving us $20 every game, which was kind of nice, and then lowering the prices down to $5, for everything basically. And then this goddamn sale that they had in the Leinenkugel Lounge. Like, holy shit. Like, if you got there early, because you didn't want to go during the game because the line was like 8,000 people long, but like you could have got a lot of good shit like for next to nothing. Like today, I bought all this stuff, and I swear to Christ, the guy said $70. And like in my brain, I'm going, there's no way this is $70. And then I looked at the receipt, and it was $170. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. But like it was like a bunch of stuff, like stuff that you could have bought, like, you know, brand new for like $70, and it's $15. You know, so people are still hot for cheap sock shit. So good for me, because, you know, I saw a lot of that shit on eBay. So it's great. So. But yeah, I thought they did a good job.
Loud Chuck in the comments brings up, booing is bad. Sell the team chance appropriate, but useless. Yeah, I had no problem with the sell the team chance. That's totally fine. I just think, and even booing is generally appropriate, but when your team wins, booing is a very weird
It's a weird flex.
It is. Bizarre. I mean, it's just, it is off-putting to even hear, right?
Yeah,
like, it's just like, what's happening? Something else I did hear, though, as we were leading up to this Thursday game that you guys were at, was people saying, Thursday's the day I'm going to do the 999 challenge. I had more than one person in our section told us that they were going to do it.
Yeah.
Was anyone executing it at the game today?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Not
she didn't
great.
do it.
She didn't make it. She got through 4 innings, and and actually there was someone in the section keeping score, and they were keeping score, marking the 4. But I think after 4 innings, this person who we all know who it is, she told me she had to go to the bathroom for a little change up, and I think that slowed her up and just kind of derailed the
that's
thing.
going to ruin
She
this
did it
Good,
wrong.
good
though.
effort though, you know, but still.
She did it wrong because, like, or in my opinion, she was covering these things with like fucking mustard.
You can't put anything on the hot dog.
You're putting mustard on there. It's like, you can't do that. You got to raw dog this shit. And she's like, well, I don't understand why. I'm like, have you never watched a fucking Nathan's hot dog eating contest? There, no one of us is like, hey, let me put some relish on there. Hey, let me put the onions on there. You know, like, and she had just eaten like a ground dog. Like, she'd found
the day before
loaded,
she had a ground dog.
Yeah, like on the floor, like on the ground at the game. And, like, Gordo was like, I stepped on it, and she still ate it. And so like we know she can handle it, but like she just didn't get the whole. Yeah, that's. I was kind of disappointed. I don't think the effort was like.
I like that 4 innings. 4 innings is solid though.
4 innings is fine. No, but like it's not. But you know what I needed? I need that NWI Steve face. Like he's in the background in that picture, and he's just like, oh.
Yeah, but they ate like 20 hot dogs that day.
Yeah, like I need that face. Like before you say, okay, I got to give up. Like she was like still drinking and fine, and she's like, I can't do it.
Paul in the comments goes, again with the condiment hate. Dreezy, Paul came up to me today. He goes, what's with you and your brother? You know, guys don't like condiments. I said, that's not true. I said, I eat everything. Dreezy used to be a fussy little bitch when we were kids. But from that, he's still not a condiment guy. You eat everything now, but you don't, no condiments. You like your stuff neat, man. That's just the way you do.
You know, if it needs condiments, it ain't that fucking good. So, we got a couple drinks here.
Yeah, put those up.
Jayzel says that's it.
Thank you.
Buying a Mazda.
There you go, Jayzel.
Jayzel, if you do that, you get free merch for a
year.
year. Free merch for an entire year from your purchase date until the next year. You get anything we release all year, you get a free copy of it. So, free size. So, go ahead and do that.
Jayzel also says the players lost 120 games. That is true.
They did.
Also true. I think what MSS was meaning, though, was that the boos are a little more for the owner than they are specifically for this group of players.
Yes. You're booing them like when they've just achieved something, like, and that seems unfair. Like the sell the team stuff again, like Chuck was saying, it's fine. Go ahead and say that. Be mad at the people that instituted this. Don't be mad at the poor guy that's just like trying to fucking work.
Jayzel, I got to correct you here. Brian Ramos did not lose 120 games this year.
You did.
Right? Let's see. That young man deserves to be cheered.
Keep our play cousin out your mouth. That's
all right. And then Hal asks,
fucking
MSS,
Hal.
what movie shoulder I watched today?
Hal, if you haven't and you can see it on any streaming, one of my favorites movies is Swingers. If you can't find that, Singles. I like the movie Singles. I also like the movie
shoulder. A lot of good shoulder in both of those.
A lot of say anything. Like any of those 3 movies. If you can't find those, watch the if you got Netflix, watch the Vince McMahon documentary that's on on Netflix. It's pretty good. I'm on 3 episodes.
Hey, my suck summer, one fucking movie, all right? You don't get
Jayzel,
every movie you ever seen.
Jayzel's response to you listing off all those movies is
Now, booing us, totally appropriate. I appreciate this. I started watching the Vince McMahon thing. I'm not into wrestling at all, but I'm interested in that shit. So I started watching it already.
I feel like we've talked about this before. Right. I ingest so many wrestling documentaries, and I don't like wrestling at all. I never watched WWF or any of that stuff since I was like knee-high to a grasshopper, but I like everything associated on the periphery. I just love it.
So there's been just under 40,000 articles written about the White Sox in recent weeks.
Yes, sir.
And out of all of that, there's been one thing, and there's been a lot of shit in these articles, but there's only one thing that really caught our eye. And it was that the Sox hired some guy named Brian Mahler to basically, from what I can understand, be the Bobs from Office Space and come in and fix everything. I guess maybe not even the Bobs, different Mike Judge movie. He's not sure. He's vice president and not sure. He's supposed to fix everything in 1 week. And we can't find a picture of Brian Mahler, so we're just going to say that this is Brian Mahler.
He's in the back in the Brooklyn shirt.
He's not as handsome as Polish with extra onions, guaranteed.
It's the guy in the Boba Fett costume is Brian Mahler.
He should roll up like that, and they probably would take him seriously. Ooh, he's got a rocket.
We've got a very specific question here that I want you guys to answer about Brian Mahler, and it's Beef Loaf. What the fuck is he going to fix?
Okay. So, yeah, we were realizing, look, if this guy is the Bobs, or he's Winston Wolfe, or he's whoever the fuck, and he's supposed to be in charge of fixing shit here, we might as well assign him some tasks. For me, boys, one thing I realized, all these articles coming out about the White Sox are a handful of different things. They're specific complaints about antiquated structures in the dynamic, specific stuff of the overreaching owner. But a lot of it is more players that are like, I'm not being taken care of enough. They don't take care of me personally enough. The bad plane, the family room's not that nice, blah, blah, blah. What I want him to fix is what we would call in the corporate world a white glove touch, okay? And what that means is when you're getting special treatment because you are someone that is, paying this vendor a lot, and they pay special attention to you. What I want this guy fixing is the first-class treatment of the players. I need some personal concierges on staff to help the players and their families. People booking dinners for people, whatever, fixing them up if they need to go to the spa. Kids got to get a haircut, whatever. I want someone in the organization helping with that. Upgrade the player facilities. Look, they're not going to have the highest salaries, the White Sox. Make the facilities so nice that people are like, okay, we're getting well taken care of here. I need them to be taken care of like they're jet setters, not like they're minor league ball players. That's the approach I want here. I need valets at the park. I need personal drivers on call. I need private rooms at the casino to go gamble and restaurants to get in anywhere in the city. I need masseuses on the planes. I
like it.
Expensive treatment for the players. That isn't expensive in the grand scheme of things. Instead of paying someone $100 million, put $20 million into this for a long term and really take care of these players.
So
and have like a barber shop.
When Mark Cuban came in to own the Mavs.
The Mavs, yep.
He did all this shit to the locker room, and like you walk in and you're a player, and you had like your own slippers, your own robe, like it was like fucking like luxury
video
hotel,
games and flat screens
being in the locker room, and players were like, "Oh, this is awesome. This is fucking it, man. I love it. This team cares about me." Yeah, I would love if he showed them that, like, you could do all this and it would cost this much, and like that's nothing in the grand scheme of your payroll.
They got a guy that drives from fucking Indiana in a van with a mobile barbershop to come up and cut their hair. Imagine if there was a damn barbershop that was just there that you just go to the guy, in there, and they're like, they don't have to go out into the parking lot and get in a van to cut their hair. They could just have a fucking barbershop somewhere,
right?
Like easy. And then you could put like you could put some hot tubs around there, it'd just be good. I'm 100% on board with this.
Treat these players right. I mean, you're not going to pay a lot for them. So when you're trying to hit the middle or the low end markets, the differentiator is you got these facilities, you got these people, and they're really well taken care of. So their life is taken care of well outside of the playing part, and that makes a huge difference.
Well, because
Stop.
what you want it for
Yes.
is the young guys coming up, right?
Yes.
And then the veterans that come in, who are on their last contract, these last 1 year guys like Paul DeYoung and stuff, come in and they go, "Oh shit, this is really great. I've never had this at another organization. Not in a bad way like they say it now, but like in a good way."
Right.
And like then the young players will be like, "Oh well, I kind of like being a part of this. I kind of want to stick around for what this is." Like, you know, I'm in total agreement with you. They're not going to do that. And
no way he's assigned to that, but still, I
don't know if Brian Mahler can pull that one off, but we'll see. Okay. My Sox Summer, what do you think Brian Mahler's going to fix?
So listen, this guy's smart, right? He went to Yale. He was a Navy SEAL, right?
That's right.
Like, yeah. I mean, he's a hard worker. He's smart, and he can tackle a problem that has plagued this organization since I've been around. Okay, we're not going to be able to fix all the on-field stuff, and not that the on-field stuff isn't the most important, because it is. But there's like a lot of glaring things that I think to a lot of Sox fans are like, why doesn't this work? You know, and namely, the biggest thing I think he needs to go after is this motherfucker needs to figure out a way to get people to go to the Shy Sox Bar and Grill after a game. Every year they tell us we're changing this up, and people are gonna go, and you're gonna come, and we're gonna have fucking appetizers, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, and the only thing we ever see is a fucking commercial of all the people that work in the White Sox front office crushing free food for like 30 seconds. And they never say, "Hey, stop by for $5 Miller Lights. Stop by for $10 buckets. Stop by this." You know what you hear? "Hey, go get your car the fuck out of the lot and then come back and fucking get in here." So, like, if this guy can figure out how to fucking take something that should be like just profiting so goddamn much money, it should be bleeding money. There's so much money there.
But not bleeding money.
That's the wrong term.
Yeah.
That's the wrong term.
That's what it is doing.
It is. It's bleeding money. It's the wrong term. My bad. It needs to have so much money. You're not even worried about anything, because people should be there all the time. I can't imagine. You know how much food gets wasted inside the park? How much food gets wasted over there, right? Because they got to have it. They got to throw it away when it goes back because nobody eats it. What are you waiting for? You're like, I got to sell this for $12. Why not sell it for $6? And then you don't throw it away, and we'll come eat it. You know, usually we'll be there. We used to be there when you give us free shit. But you don't give us free shit no more. So, you know, hey, let's figure this out. You went to Yale. You can probably make it happen. Fix Shy Sox Bar and Grill. I'm ready to get some maple wings again. All right.
I mean, the last time we went there 5 years ago, the kitchen was already closed by the time we got in there.
Yeah,
so there was no food to throw away. They didn't make nothing.
That's true.
Get a couple drinks here. Chuck says to 2025. Cheers, Chuck.
Cheers, Chuck.
And our guy Gordo says, Uncle Rico says hello.
No, he
Hello
doesn't.
to you,
Gordo?
and Uncle Rico.
Because he doesn't follow us anymore.
Well, he's not a fan. That's okay.
Alex Rude is saying, be the change you want to see and make post-game Shy Sox Bar and Grill a thing next year, MSS. They don't pay me to do
They
that.
got to incentivize us to
If
do
you
that.
give me a reason to do it, I will do it. But also, literally, I don't want people like that. The biggest thing is like, hey, just go move your car, go park on the grass, and then go back in. I don't want to do that. Just leave the gates open. Maybe pay somebody a couple extra bucks to stick around to shut the gates after 10 o'clock or so. I don't know, but like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it seems like such a hard thing.
Timothy Maher says in the comments, this guy took down Bin Laden, but Jerry's going to be the bigger problem. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think you guys are not understanding this guy very well.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think?
You think that he's trying to fix problems for the actual team and things like that. But no, I mean, we can't find a picture of this guy because he's actually a fixer, right? Like, so he's there for some nefarious shit. What he's going to do is get the building at 35th and Shields condemned. That's what he's there for.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That's why we haven't seen the rats. He's been hoarding them underneath.
He's taming them right now.
And he's going to unleash
Throwing them
them.
into Splinter.
The day that the
rat
inspector comes through, he's going to have them come flying out like an Indiana Jones movie. And And then they're going to be like, oh, no, we can't play at this stadium anymore. What will we do? City of Chicago? State of Illinois? And then all of a sudden, people from the state senate will be like, hey, where are my kids? And Brian Mahler will have nothing to do with it, but those kids will be kidnapped.
Dad, just sign so they can break ground.
Teresa, I want white glove touch. You wanted black glove operations.
I don't want this. I do not want this.
Okay, all right.
I just know how the org operates.
This is
okay.
And when you hire a guy that you can't find any information on, and he just accidentally slips into an article 11 months into the year, or 9 months into the year, whatever month it is, I don't know.
It's the 11th month. We just had Thanksgiving.
Man, that Riot Fest still hitting. Still hitting. Riot Fest still hitting.
He did have drugs. He just wanted to give up. MSS.
He has a pre-roll right now.
The suppositories finally kicked in. You don't know who this guy is. You don't know nothing about this guy. And
not a thing.
To think that he's when you hear all of that, when you say Beef, when you go, the only thing I can find is picture of is an out of focus picture of him with his head turned from when he played lacrosse in Harvard.
Yeah.
It was on his Wikipedia page. The Wikipedia page says everything's redacted. Right,
that's all I can find.
It's not very clear, You can't really think this guy's here for the good stuff. This guy's here to help. No, he's here for something bad.
Well, I had Merck on Monday, and I asked him if he's heard of this guy or whatever, and he kind of vaguely said that he had, but he didn't know him, and he'd heard good things about him or whatever. And I was almost unsure if I believed Merck that he had actually heard of him or not.
Beef, do you remember our grandfather who was a union leader in New York?
I do remember this. Yes.
Told us he'd never met Jimmy Hoffa.
Never met him. That's right. Yes.
He's heard of the guy. Yeah. Never met him.
Never met him. Yep.
Merck was exactly the same in his answering the questions.
He did.
And that really sent me when he was talking about him yeah, this guy is there all the time, but I've never met him. I don't know what he does. I heard he's great.
Exactly. He did give that entire thing.
Everybody talks about people like that. Who wouldn't you say I've never met this guy? He's 15 feet away from me at all times. I've never met him, but I bet he's great. No one answers like that. This guy's terrifying. I'm saying that the building's getting condemned. That's the minimum this guy's doing.
We'll get to some drinks comments in a second, but Jay's also, we missed this drink.
Yeah, we did.
So what was the worst loss of the year, boys? Is what Jay's. And thank you, Jay's.
Go ahead, Treasy. You look like
I'm trying to think.
Okay, so mine one is when we're all excited because Andre Vaughn has finally hit one to left field and it's going out of the park, and the guy is 3 feet above the wall.
Travis Jankowski jumps up over the fence and brings that home run back.
You're just like,
crushing loss.
Fuck us. Fuck us here.
And that's in the middle of the streak,
one.
Too. That's in the middle of the streak. So yeah, right. I'll agree that was
horrible.
the worst. That was the worst loss of the season.
Oh, so bad.
Well, the commenters are kind of with you, Treasy. Tadahito says Treasy's onto something here. And John Carney says, pretty pleased with Sugar on Top. Build us another stadium.
No new stadium.
and Rich Bissett says, stadium will be bulldozed overnight with a big X. It's going to be like Meg's Field. Yep. I'm going to wake up. Unless I'll wake up from my hot boy walk and go walking. I'm like, where did the stadium go? It's like they stole the goddamn thing. And Paul is out here defending you, said fiscal year, 11 months. Treat.
There we go. Yeah.
That's what it is, Jackie Treehorn says, whoever wrote that article is about to be off. You can't off pass. Passing's too big to be offed. That's just not going to happen. I don't think so.
So are we positive it exists? And according to some of our sources, maybe not. We're not sure.
Yeah, the conversation we had today, MSS off the record, cracked me up. It's like, oh, this guy works for us.
It's like, really?
Okay.
Sure.
Great.
But you know what? Maybe it's a need to know thing. You don't need to know. So just the less you know, the better. You have what is it? Plausible deniability. Yeah, I mean, that's what you need, right? So,
Jay-Zell says, I thought it was the game Moncada got hurt.
Well, that was not a good one either. Thank you, Jayzel. Delicious.
I mean,
All right, well, I
these
think
were
that's
bad too, Paul. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
when they
that's
got
the
up big,
bad one.
Shreezy and I were at both those games. Well, one of the games each, but it was like
Yeah.
I never saw the comeback from the Cubs after the rain delay of the first one. So that to me that didn't exist. I didn't feel the pain from that loss. So I was
The Wrigley game was brutal. The Wrigley game was brutal.
That's bad.
Sitting so close to Cusack.
What was left of his hair?
in his hair.
Guys, it's time for thank yous and GFYs. My Sucks Summer, who you thinking are GFYing?
You know, I am going to thank all of the workers, the staff folks that we patronize for 6 months that bring us into their lives, who are literally happy to see us like almost every day that they're there, because they're like, I go to the same pop lady, I go to the same barbecue lady, I go to the same sandwich making ladies. You get these people become part of your life, and then you don't see them for 6 months, and you just or until you go to United Center, and you miss these people. So I thank you again for coming through and working like again. Like, I know you didn't make a bunch of money. Tip money had to have been shit this year. I hope we helped you out a little bit, but thanks for coming and sticking with it, because we like to see you every bunch. So thank you very much again for another great season to the workers.
Beef, who you thinking are GFYing?
I have several thank yous. First off, White Sox Sal's right. Beef, thank the shutout for giving you some breathing room. The steak dinner bet is coming down to the end, boys. 804 runs allowed. The White Sox getting
awesome.
the shutout today was huge for me. I got 14 runs of cushion where I still win. They got 3 games left in Detroit. That's 4.67 runs a game. Josh Nelson's sweating his ass off now that I might actually come back and win this thing. The line is 818.5. So if they give up 15 runs in this next series or more, Josh wins. 14 runs or less, the Beefloaf wins. So I just want to thank the White Sox for playing that well in this series. That's first.
You think Crochet no leash on this last game?
One time, baby. One time. Let him throw 7 innings. Let him throw 7.
Have all offseason to rest.
Offseason, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
You know what? What better way to sell your manager pick, a Grady Sizemore, than to go out there and kick ass for him? Just show how much you can kick ass for him, and then maybe he'll get hired, which he probably will anyway. So after an exhausting search, so.
Thank you. Number 2 goes to Sam Anderson from the New York Times for making me nationally known. My Twitter follower account is up. My impressions are up. And he wrote me up like I'm a hunk. So I'm officially a sex symbol now, guys. I'm sorry that I'm spreading out. I'm more sexualized than you guys are. It is what it is. But Sam, it was great to see you at the game today. I feel a little bit bad you got to go to Detroit, but it also is kind of funny. And just talking to you, Josh Nelson, talking to you, and you said you're very cheap, and even on the company dime, you stay at the cheapest places. And you know where he stayed downtown, Treasy? He stayed at that fucked up Ohio motel place that's right down in
the Ohio House.
Yeah, the Ohio House. He's staying in the most fucked up place ever, and we were cracking up like. And Josh and I were like, if we thought of the worst hotel downtown, that's where we would have thought of. He's like, that's where I stay. And he goes, some of the reviews, there was a guy who said, some guy, drunken guy, knocked my door down over the night, but he wasn't breaking in. He just thought it was his room, and he was drunk. So everything was fine. No one got injured. But we were like,
it was a friendly invasion. Yeah,
we were dying laughing listening to Sam's goddamn story about that. So that's thank you number 2.
I didn't think that was a real fucking hotel. I really didn't. Think
It is.
Yeah.
But the worst one is the Best Western, like right across the way.
Well, that's another not good one. Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as that one.
But there's like so many nice boutique hotels right there on the company dime.
That's what we were telling him. Like, what's wrong? And he said his wife was telling him, "You're a grown man. Stay at a real place. You can't stay at these places, these flea bag motels." Anyway, my last thank you number 3. And my section, I'm kind of preempted this a little bit, but I'm going to give by name. I want to thank Rich, Julie, Jen, and Sherry. They're the wonderful people that operate the beer stand right at the top of section 109. That's the one we go to all the time. When we say we have a great time at the ballpark, it's materially because of them. They take a great care of us all year round. We get terrific treatment there, great service. So I just want to thank them. I know we tip and everything, but I want to give them an official thank you. I want all the people listening to this to know what great service we get all year. And for everyone out there, stop at that beer stand and buy them and tip them because they're the best.
And don't yell at them when you see us cut the line. So we've earned that right. So you just go ahead and you just be quiet.
Treasy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to triple down on that one. That one is fantastic, and they're the best. They're the best, and I can't thank them enough. I mean, even though the baseball was terrible, I feel like I get to see way more baseball because they're so quick with our service to get us back to our seats.
Yep.
It's incredible. People are like, I'm like going up to get a beer, and then I'm coming right back down and like, how did this happen? How are you getting a beer so fast?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you don't worry about
But
it.
yeah, they are the best. I also want to thank my buddies Wally Money and the Dude for hanging out with me at Riot Fest this weekend. I always buy a ticket just for myself. I don't expect anyone else to come up, and I'm more than happy to be there by myself, walking around, having some boys with me this weekend. It made it even better time. So it was really awesome hang out with those dudes. And then, you know, me and the Dude, if we're out together, it always ends up at Boss Bar. So we got to stop off there for a couple. I want to thank Miller High Life for extending those nights. But other than that,
I was just gonna.
You got something to say?
If you're done, are you done?
We're done with the show. But what do you got?
Done with the show. Congratulations to our gal Sal for winning the free T-shirt tonight. No one else ordered a shirt, Sal. You're 1 for 1 tonight, buddy. You take that money that you just spent on her shirt and go put it on black or something at your favorite casino. So
there we go. That's it for tonight, everybody. We'll talk to you very soon. Have a good night.